There's this wonderful teacheress that was offered by a mythical person by the name of Patanjali, and he wrote this discourse on yoga. And what he says is this, is now the teaching of yoga. Yoga is to still the pattering of consciousness. Then pure awareness can abide in its very nature. Otherwise, awareness takes itself to be the patterns of consciousness. What essentially he's saying is this, is, where our attention is what we become. And the practice of yoga is to still the mind. And when the mind is still, then that divine awareness, that true self, can open into that place of bliss, of unity, of connection. Because we have been conditioned to believe that we are our mind, that we are our ego, that we are our body. But if we can practice that sense of stillness, then that which is paying attention, that which is loving awareness, can come through. I think Franz Kafka says it best, where he says, you don't need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Don't even listen. Simply wait. Don't even wait. Be quiet, still, and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. It is my practice to go outside and just look into the starry world. Have you ever done that? It just fills you with the sense of amazement, of awe, of wonder. It all of a sudden we realize we're getting out of our conditioned thinking. The patterning of our consciousness is stilled, and there's this deep awareness happens. It can happen in other ways as well. Whatever enlarges us, expands us, and brings us to amazement and wonder and awe. I went back to Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, and he offered these 3 pieces of what I think are sage advice. The first, follow any simple diet which proves suited to one's constitution. And then he says, a master, one who has realized themselves as the omnipresent soul, not the body or ego, perceives in all beings a striking similarity. And then finally, be comfortable within your own purse. So I think that these things are much bigger than just the basis, right? I mean, it's not just about eating a diet, but it says, to find a simple diet that suits the constitution of ourself. The first thing we have to do then is we have to take the time to know what our constitution is, to be curious about ourselves, to have a sense of self-understanding, what we need, what we desire, what's important, what's not, what our constitution is, and then nurture ourselves in that way. A good way to say that, I think, is this, is to choose our life. To not wish it was something else or regret that it wasn't that, but to be present in this moment, in this place, to have a sense of understanding, of curiosity, of love about who we are, and then nurture that. And then the second exercise is this, it's to see the divine in everything and everyone, no exceptions. To do that practice and to realize if we are seeing someone, if we are seeing something, and we are not seeing the divine in there, then it's an issue of perception, not of reality. Now, that doesn't mean that evil doesn't exist or that bad things don't happen or, things are not. We live in a universe that's relatively random, but each living being is a reflection, is an emanation of divine awareness. And even though it may have lost its way, we can pray for them. A simple prayer. May that person be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. And may they be happy. And then finally what he suggests is this, is to be comfortable within our purse. You know, I love how Emerson says this, where he says, genius stands on limitation. And it doesn't mean that we should be limited, but what it means is we should work with what we have and not put our life on hold or extend ourselves or put ourselves in bondage. You know, there's that great mystical adage that when one is trusted in small things, they are given great things. So again, it's about choosing the life that we're living in this moment and realizing in this moment we are being called forth. We're being lured into a greater experience of who we are. We're like Abraham on that spiritual path. You will be guided if you say yes. I promise you.